Oh my goodness, man.
That shit.
Well, thank you.
RP Dolph, obviously, but holy, that guy is. I'm so happy he owns all his music because I have no qualms with playing Dolph at ignorant levels all day, all night for the next who knows how long.
For real.
Wow, man.
For real.
It's so bad, but I'm actually looking forward to like the unreleased tracks. It's like I don't know why I'm already thinking about it, but like I'm really looking forward to it. But
the thing is with Dolph, I knew he's working. He's always working, and
always.
Before he passed, I was already excited for that, and I was actually happy that he kind of he was heading towards a direction that was supporting the next generation of next wave of artists. His last project that he put together, Paper Out Illuminati, had a bunch of other artists that he was trying to promote. Right, similar to like, back in the day when 50 was like, all right, it's Juna's turn. Like he's doing that type of shit. So I was really excited to see that and seeing where he went. But definitely the most tragic news we could possibly hear about this dude. Let me intro this pod because it's going to be, and then we're going to get into everything.
Not with the hype.
Oh, that's fire.
Right?
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, it slaps. I want to commission like a rapper to take that shit.
Take
and,
that and just, do something with it. Let's do it.
Some crazy shit with it. But until then, we'll have people come in and guest freestyle, even the ones that have no business doing it. But
we've already done that ourselves.
We do that every time.
All the time.
Ourselves. We're not qualified.
Nah.
Everybody hated my singing or loved it.
We gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about that one.
You're a singer? Yeah, that was difficult.
Oh, my man was off beat the whole time.
Oh my gosh. No, it wasn't my fault. It's because when you record, there's a little lag because your internet's a little so that's where that happened. Otherwise, I was on beat, on rhythm. You were moving with me. That's why you didn't say nothing while I was recording.
No. Okay. That's not why.
Why?
I just thought it was better if I don't say nothing to let you look like a fool.
Oh my God, you're an idiot.
Mandem. It's not with a hype thing. A war.
The world general speaking.
Medea, what's good?
Welcome, sir, and welcome back, Mr. Brandon.
Brampton's finest.
An honor to be in your presence, gentlemen.
We had to have you. It was a late night chat, and of course it's me.
Shop like Shaq.
Last night you messaged me and it was like 12:30 Eastern time or some shit like that, and you were up. Dolph was on your mind, I guess, and you sent that voice note. I listened to it all, but I guess I was also it was loud. I literally played you on the speakers because I was bumping Dolph while whatever. So I was like, let me listen. I didn't hear the tail end where you're like, yo, listen, I can't make the pod, but I want this to be played out there like a reference.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't even hear that part, but I was like, I definitely want to have you on the pod. I also, the same way at the beginning where you said the origin of our podcast is tied to young Dolph, period.
Absolutely.
Dolph Cove. You mentioned that it was we had a whole episode, Dolph Cove, because he dropped the mixtape, and guys we basically started, we wanted to do our own Dolph hive, and because he's a dolphin, we said the Cove. For those that don't know, let me contextualize everything. What was it, 3 years ago now?
3 years. Mandem Anonymous?
Mandem Anonymous.
That was the name.
There we go. Yeah.
3 years ago, Mandem Anonymous, what this podcast has turned into, Not With the Hype. We basically started podcasting off of just pre-drinks. Before we would go out, we're just going to pre-drink and record some nonsense. And I don't know if this is something we're going to do, but it's fun. And we ended up going to and booking tickets to go see young Dolph while we were out in LA. In Santa Ana, which is I think it was an hour and change away from LA. And we got to the Airbnb, we got dressed and found out that Dolph the show was canceled. We never actually got to see Young Dolph.
Never actually got to go.
Like we potted as we were getting ready to go out.
Yeah.
So we were excited. We were playing Young Dolph. We were talking Young Dolph. I was excited because I'm like, I don't think he's ever going to make it across our border, and I don't want to go to Memphis to watch this show.
Right.
And it didn't happen, but it did birth our podcast, and was he was the source of a lot of the great conversations we had. So I'm glad that you made those similar. You acknowledge those facts.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember even when we went back into the airport trying to get back into Canada, they thought my recording equipment was like a heater. So remember, I put my hands up and whatnot. But yeah, the entire trip was amazing. But I remember waking up, literally waking up, and then Kush on a Yacht was playing.
Yeah.
Going to bed, Kush on a Yacht is playing. Dolph was just playing the entire day, the entire time.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jerron as well too, and that was kind of what started a lot. I think Irk and Jerk was part of it too. There's a lot of components to the start of Mandem Anonymous. But yeah, that was definitely a great time. But yeah, man, that's when you put me on, Dolph, and you became one of my favorite artists after that. Like literally one of my favorite artists.
And then we had, I think it was a few episodes in when we turned Mandem Anonymous into Not With the Hype. It might have been like literally, I think in my head, I can see the artwork. It's episode 4.
I remember that. Yeah, it's early. It was early.
Yeah.
And Patrick had joined us by then. I don't know if you knew Dolph at all.
I had no idea. No. So it wasn't until like, honestly, like you guys put me on obviously to it, but because you guys talked about it in LA, like, we had our group chat going, we were messaging, whatever. I'm like, Young Dolph, whatever. And then you guys come back, you're playing the music. And I'm like, oh, yo, this is fire. Like, how have I not heard of this guy? You know what I mean? And so that whole time, it was like education for me. It was like going to school. Like, I'm getting schooled on Young Dolph, and like
that's because like new gym music. Yes.
Yo, honestly. So for a minute, I was bumping that in the gym, and right now, as I reflect, like I'm definitely gonna have to go back and go back to his discography.
He has a lot of music. So like he put out like how Gucci put out a lot of music, not at that level, but like he was heading towards that kind of clip in terms of how much amount of music the amount of music that he was doing. But
not to mention,
go for it.
Not to mention on that trip as well too. We're playing X as well. So X was really big back then. Of course, him and Trippie Redd. When Trippie Redd had the track with Travis Scott. Like I can listen to the playlist that I think Malik or you curated, and that was that put me on the Dolph.
Word.
Rest in peace to X and Dolph right now, man.
So Young Dolph passed away a few days. It might be just 2 days now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a couple of days ago. Yeah.
We I was just working. Malik walks into the room with his face just like Home Alone, like hands at his mouth, just like, and he's like, he didn't say nothing other than Dolph. I was like, it's like no. It's like I was like in LA, because I feel like he had probably like he got shot at in LA. Shot in LA. I'm pretty sure also. So I was like, he must have came in LA. I don't know, in his hometown, outside of the this plaza, just getting some cookies.
Inside, actually.
Was he inside the actual establishment?
Yeah, the reports are saying he was inside the cookie shop or inside the shop there.
And then so he that happened inside a cookie shop. He was seen a week ago. Like I think they recorded him getting his cookies, supporting that independent business. And it's tragic that you get killed in your own city, and that's just been a narrative oftentimes with a lot of the rappers.
Yeah, which is it's wild, man. It's kind of reminiscent of Nip, right? Like when we think about it, like Nip being in his block on the area where he's supporting small businesses just like this. You know what I mean? So instantly when I heard about it, and like I went on Twitter and I'm seeing all the reaction, like it's crazy how you see the stuff in live time now. You know what I mean? But that's literally where my mind was. I'm like, man, not another one, not another artist gone like this.
Yeah, it's really wild. And when I heard that, I couldn't believe it, honestly, because he's putting on guys like Key Glock, like Young Unk and Paper Out Illuminati. Rich Slade just came out like last year or the year before, right? Like he was just on his way of continuing to kind of grow. And
great.
Yeah, he was getting amazing, man. And it's super sad. And it just really hurts my heart when you see another brother, like another Black man, losing his life way too early, right? Yeah. Above all. Right. So that's kind of the really sad part of it.
So I did see a really powerful clip to me, because this woman, she was interviewed right outside of the scene, and she was basically telling it how it was, giving you a little bit more Memphis context, because apparently it seems like there was some gun laws passed where people can like open carry guns, everybody can have a pistol basically type shit. Yeah. And like what this really does to that community. Let me play that clip real quick for y'all.
The tragic news, how do you feel?
I'm hurt. I'm sad. I don't want to live in Memphis anymore. I actually live around this neighborhood. So this is very common to me. When whoever in Tennessee passed that gun law to let everybody carry a pistol, I'm pretty sure you cover murders every single solitary night. Am I lying? You do, right? Every day.
I do.
Okay, so who passed that law to let these kids come around and carry guns every day, open?
And just to know, this superstar.
This superstar that helped millions of people, that gave millions of dollars, that helped us, can come to Memphis on airways in his car and buy a pack of cookies without being shot and killed to death. And this is happening to regular people, let alone, even though he's a regular person, even though he's a mega superstar. So how does that make the regular citizens feel? We have no protection, not from the police. I'm sorry, I know that this is the news or whatever, but we don't have no protection from them because they pull us over for drive-out tags. You know, it's the law now that African Americans can carry guns, and you know they made that law so that we can kill each other. That's what it's population control.
What do you think this is going to grow into
This is going to grow into something even more. This is not the end.
Wow.
This is not the end.
Wow.
This is finna cause a slew of retaliations.
And shortly, the next day, they had a memorial at the same place, and apparently somebody got shot out there. So the retaliation has already started.
Oh man,
bro. Something that resonated with me a lot is I listened to Charlamagne the God's Donkey of the Day, and he was giving the Donkey of the Day the guys that killed Dolph. And he kind of said that something resonated with him from a talk with Swiss Beats. He said, as Black people, we're in this big group project. And it's not fair, but we're in a group project, right? If someone's praised, we all get praise. We're all really happy that someone's, doing really well. And if someone does something very bad, or if there's a certain group that gets killed, whatever it may be, it looks really bad on us. It's not fair to be judged, as a group, but that's just the reality of what it is. As Black people, right? So that really resonated with me, and it's just it's gotta stop, man. I don't know. This is why I preach therapy. This is why I preach these people have trauma that has not been dealt with. It's just extremely sad, man. These people need help.
It's devastating for me too, man. Because I think about it, and not even the Dolph situation for sure. I mean, that's what we're talking about, but the gun violence and the senselessness of it literally hit home for me 2 weeks ago, and I don't think I've shared that with you guys, but literally one of my childhood friends lost her brother to a drive-by shooting in my neighborhood a couple weeks ago. And this is a dude who literally small business owner, ran his own tattoo shop, was doing everything the right way, by the books, and was shot and killed outside his home. And we were having the same conversation, literally just saying it's so senseless. It doesn't make any sense why we're killing each other, and why these young guys are going out there with these guns. What are you trying to prove? I can't make sense of it.
I think sometimes it's just micro level thinking.
Because you don't sense.
I think I say it's micro level thinking because the way that this woman was speaking about how it's a form of population control. There's a lot of subtext when some of these laws and bills get passed where it's we're doing this so that everybody can be safe and protect themselves. But realistically, what you're doing. Yeah. And the subtext there is okay, we let everybody have one. Who's really going to be the communities that are really going to be using this shit. The marginalized brown ones, the marginalized ones. Yep. And that's where people don't realize that they're unknowingly part of the system. They're part of the way that the whole monopoly game has been set up. they're just playing their role. They don't realize that guy whoever killed Dolph doesn't know that they're just playing their part in this greater game that has nothing to do with them other than the fact that they're just a pawn.
That's it.
Enforcing some shit that was basically somebody was hoping that somebody would fill that role. So
and then you get the retaliation right after it,
which is all still
going
part
into
of
that cycle. Exactly, going back right back into it. It's crazy, man. And now
someone's got it. No, go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say, like, and now there's like, I think he has 2 kids.
He's got 2
now, have no father. They're gonna grow up without a father figure. You know what I mean? And that's just devastating to the whole family.
It was really devastating for a lot of reasons. Like, Dolph was a guy that made it from nothing. He used to do who knows what.
Yeah.
But he's always preached like independence, do it yourself, give back. He's been giving back to his family, his community, to people he doesn't know. I love that story about the Duke University campus Starbucks, where these employees were playing Young Dolph in the shop. I'm pretty sure they were playing it while it was closed. But anyways, they got fired for playing it. Mm-hmm. And then he decided to like invite them on stage while he was performing at Duke University, bring them out, and I think gave them like 20 grand each or something ridiculous. While he was performing, get paid with them dancing to the song that they were not allowed to play. And he's like, I'm sure the dean or whoever the fuck fires you is going to see this. So get paid. That's so wild. He did all of that. His kids, apparently he purchased a foreclosed house every single year for his kids' birthdays.
Wow.
He has over 100 properties.
Wow.
He owns all of his masters. Right. There is, I'm not really happy. I'm glad that his kids and his family is set up in a way where like, a sudden death doesn't impact them financially. Where like now the breadwinner's gone and they're just fucked. They're good, but they still lost a dad, a husband, a brother, whatever. Like that's somebody very impactful, and who knows what kind of good he was going to do with the trajectory he was on based off of all this shit he was doing. Like, not everybody preaches own everything. Not everybody preaches buy up properties and shit like that. But like for a dude like him, for most people who probably wouldn't expect it to be a guy like him to be doing this shit. I really have to commend him on that. And I'm really sad that we're not going to see what that end result would have looked like when we're seeing like 45, 50-year-old young Dolph, where, he's, I don't know. I don't know. I can't imagine ever wanting to, I can't imagine the thought process behind, going and murdering somebody like that. And that's where I say it's just completely just systemic, and I can't imagine somebody being like happy and glorifying themselves after all of that.
Nah.
Yeah, it's super systemic. Everything. It's just a guinea pig cycle that they're just in, especially in America as well too. So someone's got to get up and just break the cycle and just tell these people, get these people out of here, man. Like, I'm just figure something out in that sense. But what I'll say is like, Dolph was always showing love to like athletes as well. He was just with Deion Sanders and his team and his HBCU team in Jackson State.
That was lit. That was
super lit. I literally could not stop playing 100 shots after that for like a week straight. Still to this day, right? One of my favorite tracks, honestly,
I just love how it comes in, because it does that same shit that like March Madness does, where it like creeps up on you and you're like, oh shit, this is about to happen.
Man. No, he's definitely on his way, man. On his way. And how many artists were actually doing this? Like, where they own their own masters. Like, he never signed a deal. He was one of the guys, right?
He was adamant from the get-go. Like, he could have got signed to Gucci. He could have got signed to Coach K. He could have got signed to everybody.
Yeah.
But he was adamant about like, owning his shit, being in control. And he's been doing this shit from when he had money, but he was spending a lot of it on developing his brand and actually, building his platform. Like, he literally would have concerts where I can't remember the dollar amount, but whatever money he was making selling stuff he wasn't supposed to be selling.
Right.
I remember hearing that he would basically perform a show. This is when he was not really known. Like, he was a hometown hero type. No, he would literally throw 10 grand off the stage or some shit like that.
Really?
What?
Yeah, just throw it to the people.
Yo.
I did not know that.
I didn't. Yeah.
Dolph has been a man of the people. It's not like he got super rich and then turned around and said, "Okay, now it's go time."
Right.
He's been just trying to empower and like, you know, set up. Like when he says paper route empire, he was really trying to build something that would stick and stay.
You know what I love about what that woman said? One thing, she said a lot of gems, but to a lot of people listening, they may know Young Dolph, they may not. Like, you know, I know you guys listen to him and a lot of people that don't, but she said he's a megastar. Like this is someone who's from his town. Like, think about that. Think about the impact that has, you know, when
to her, that's like Drake died.
That's it. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, so think about the impact this man was having on people's lives in that community, right? She talks about the millions of dollars he's given away and put back into the community. Like that to me has got to be the legacy that lives on.
Yeah.
The music and just his give back.
So speaking about the community, sorry, you want to point?
I was just, I don't know, you probably were going to preface this and say something, but it just begs the question for these rappers, these artists that are going back to their city.
Yes. Okay. So with that being said, I have a Lil Boozy clip that I think was like older than Young Dolph's death. Cause I've heard this clip before and I can't remember which rapper passed away, but I'm pretty sure Boozy was speaking about somebody. But here, let me play this clip and let me see what you guys think about it as far as like a rapper being in their hometown and living there.
Also, I had haters out there. And it's always like that. Wherever you from, you will get hated the most. You know, most rappers die in their own city, man. It's a fact. And, you know, you have haters who was in school with you and they mad because they was in that third grade class with you, but they don't have the same hustle as you. You know, they hate you for no reason. They hate you for your success. If you was a local rapper and you didn't have much, they would love you. You know, and these people, you develop hatred in your own city. You know, if you go to Canada, you go to New York, you from Louisiana, you don't have hate, you don't have people want to hurt you because they don't know you.
Yep, that's true.
You know, they don't know you, and that's why I decided to move to Atlanta. You know, if I'm dealing with music, this is a place I need to be. You know,
so what do you guys have to say about like that, the thought process? Like you're a megastar. We'll use the word megastar now.
Right.
You're a megastar in your city. You make it, but you're from the slums. You're from nothing.
Yeah.
Do you stay? Is it wise to stay? Is it unwise to stay?
Man, I would say it is unwise to stay because everything Boosie said to me is facts. And you don't even have to be from the slums because we've seen this happen with people from our own city. We've seen this happen with Drake. The amount of people that hate on that man or hated on him. You know what I mean? So I think it's one of those things. But if you are from, you know, the hood, you're from the gutter, like, yeah, you're going to have a target on your head the entire time. There's going to be people gunning for you. So it takes a special type of person to stay within that community. If it was me, I think I'm out. I'm going to give back. I'm going to show love, but I'm not laying my head there. I'm not laying my head there every night, man. Yeah. What about you?
Never wear a Malvern hat again if you say that. Never wear a never again.
Pulling his Malvern hat.
Jeez. I pull all my credit.
Pull everything off. No, I think it's definitely unwise. Like, once again, because of the systemic racism, because of the systemic barriers that we have within the slums, or I even call it the hood, but just in the projects hood, right? So Nip, Young Dolph, going back to their hood, unfortunately, these people are actually envious, jealous, whatever it may be. They don't have the love, the internal love for themselves. They don't care. They have sense of it. They don't have love internally for themselves. Right? So they project it on other people. And that's exactly what it is. These people are like have no self-worth, right? And this is just what it is. They're important. They just didn't experience too much love. And that's the reason why they're super envious and want to kill these people. So I would you leave, you go to LA. Why do these guys go to LA? Go somewhere else.
I almost feel like there's like, aside from the envy, there's like some kind of pride in saying like, yo, I was a guy that did it. I feel like some of these people move like that. Like when Pop Smoke was got, the man who did it was like kind of prideful about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's like I don't know. I don't know what you really get out of it. I think people got to understand you don't get shit other than losing your fucking life one way or another.
Well, that's it. But I also think it's too like it's it's primal, man. Like, think about it. Like, you go back to all throughout history, we talk about the person on the top. Everyone wants to come for that top spot at some level, whether it's financially, whether it's your actual life. Like, people are gunning for you on the top. They want nothing more than to tear you down. So I think some of it's got to stem from that too. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, if I got to take out the top dog and I'll become the top dog. But no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It just makes me think about Drake as well too. Like, not coming from the hood, but becoming like the greatest, like the artist of the decade right now. It's like the area he grew up in, right? It's not the slums, but at the same time, I guess people from our area aren't like as too envious. You kind of see it as like a point of pride that the fact that he made it.
Yeah.
I don't know. People still hate him in the city, but like it just kind of makes me wonder, like, why is he not being? I'm not trying to say that he wants to be targeted, but
no, he's not, because you move a certain way. He literally moves like the president whenever
exactly.
He's got a fleet of cars. He's got security. Yep. You got to move like that. But the moment that you start to say, like, this is my city, this is my hometown, I'm gonna go get some cookies by myself, and it's a problem.
And it shouldn't be, though. We should be able to move freely in our cities, freely within our hometowns. Like, the fact that we can't, that's a problem. I say we, but the fact that like people can't do that, it's a problem, man.
Yeah, it's just sad. But stream his stuff because he owns everything. So stream his music, stream everything, man. Like, just run it up, man.
Yeah,
I will.
RP Young Dolph.
Yeah,
Dolph Cove forever. That's just forever. The vibes. Brandon, thank you for joining us. You can duck out if you'd like to.
Yeah, if you want.
Like, I really would like to keep you here, but I know you got places to be.
No, let's keep it going, man. Let's keep it going. Screw it. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. No,
he has a couple drinks. He's like, these are my people.
These are my people. These are my people, man. I'm not gonna go.
So another, because we had a week off. There was a crazy headline. Also, still sticking with music.
Yeah,
another tragedy that also did happen with the Astroworld concert over in Houston. So far, we have like 8 or 9 deaths, and then there's like 200 people that were allegedly like injured or something like that. So apparently, right now, Travis Scott, Drake, Apple Music, and Live Nation are hit with a $2 billion lawsuit.
Yeah, it's
there's a lot to unpack there. I don't know how you guys feel about everything that happened, because that show looked like it sounded like hell.
It definitely sounded like hell, and to me it just seemed like, now that we're, all this stuff comes out after the fact, but it's like there were so many red flags. I hate that, red flags, but there's so many red flags. Why did this show still proceed? With all this stuff coming out, it seems, and all these experts and so-called festival experts are saying, well, this was a safety hazard. This was flagged. This shouldn't have happened. So then, who gave it the green light to happen in the first? That's where my mind's going.
Apparently, they had sat down with the chief of police or whatever beforehand, and then like, yo, we know how you get down. Just cool it. That apparently happened beforehand,
right?
But you can't tell someone like Shaq. We went to a Travis Scott concert. That place is madness.
We went to a Travis Scott concert and we didn't enjoy it together. Like, I was by myself because it was just crazy. So I enjoyed the concert by myself.
Yeah, it was nuts, but he incites riots.
But yeah, exactly. So he encourages people. Like, throughout his shows, he's always like rage. Like, wow. He's always telling people to like break through the fucking fences, storm the gates, fuck security, mosh. He's encouraging that shit. That's a regular Travis Scott show, and that's not a surprise. It's just that this time the show was so big.
Yeah.
And apparently, people moved in the way that they moved, and they were they moved as Travis probably kind of gave them the vibe too, instructed, perhaps, allegedly. And I don't know if they were understaffed, because there were questions as far as like how many security guards and police people were actually on site, and where they were on site. Were they able to control? Like, I don't think you could ever, like, realistically, you could never control an entire
crowd. No.
Decide to go off, it's over.
And the way they said it happened too. So apparently there were like the 2 stages on 2 different areas. So Travis was performing on the main stage, and everyone else was on a separate stage. And so when he was going up to perform, there was only like a half-hour window, and they had like a countdown. So people were rushing from that other stage.
So that was the beginning of that shit. Just the rushing to go see Travis.
Rushing, and you know how it is with concerts, man. We've all been in those concerts where the moment the main artist gets up, people start rushing and pushing each other to the front. So you can only imagine how it is when people are running from one stage to the next, already knowing the type of vibe, the type of energy. You probably got the DJ spinning tracks, getting people mad lit, and like it's devastating, man. I want to ask you guys, did you ever watch the Netflix documentary on it?
Yeah, we did. I did.
Yeah. So to me, that was eye-opening. I didn't know Travis had this effect on people, but like his fans,
for the younger generation.
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
For us, I appreciated his music. He was lit like before the Astroworld stuff, and I was like, oh, I like this guy. Like he's different. Yeah, he's fun. He's lit. But I wasn't like, yo, Travis saved my life. Yo, he got me through my depression. Like I didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah. So I'm like, damn, he's got that type of effect on people. So when you're telling me like he's telling people to do something and they're gonna do it, allegedly, like, yeah, I could believe that.
Yeah, I understand. Like he was in Fortnite. They had to pull him out of Fortnite as well too. So the kids, all the kids love this guy, man. Like younger kids, like kids in middle school.
That's why his shows are all
love
ages.
Travis Scott.
And I'm always like, his shows, to me, it shouldn't be all ages. It's a money grab because he knows it'll show up. And like, yeah, he has that impact on kids. But I don't know. The all ages thing is also what makes it weird because I'll be with my grown ass and I'm not even that old, standing next to like a 14-year-old that's out there by themselves. You know, depending on the venue I'm in, I might be like lit, smoking a blunt, whatever. And you just, you know, when I went to the show the last time, actually, I remember seeing a teenage girl crying because it was just crazy and she just wanted to get out of it. Yeah. Like that's something I saw with my own eyes.
Damn,
that was years ago. That was years ago.
I felt like I had a heat stroke. Literally, I mean, in that place, it was ridiculous. It was actually nuts. But the fact that there were young kids that were there, and unfortunately, young kids that actually did pass away due to what happened, it's very, very unfortunate. It's like, there's a reason why a lot of these parents are weary about sending their kids to concerts, but I think twice before going to a Travis Scott concert.
I saw like a 9-year-old passed away.
9-year-old passed away. Yeah. What I've been wondering is like what the ripple effects of this will be to other festivals, because you know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, moving forward, all these festivals are going to have to move differently, especially knowing that Live Nation's involved in these lawsuits, which runs pretty much all of these festivals in some way. They have their hands in some way or another. So I just wonder what the future of festivals will look like, especially as we start coming out of this pandemic and, you know, people are out there again coming the summertime in the city. Like, what's this going to look like? What's OVO going to look like? You know what I mean? I know OVO is not like Astroworld and the setup, but
the thing, I think it's like when you mentioned like the whole like 2-stage thing, I think that they're just going to have to figure out a better way to manage that. Like you can't, maybe they just don't do those types of shows. Maybe it's just like one stage, you guys are where you are and that's it. You can't have people stampeding from one area to the next, because that's what will happen when you say, oh shit, Drake's over there.
Yep. I've seen it at Osheaga, man. Like I went to Osheaga back in 2014 and like, literally you're on an island and the stages are set up on different parts of the island. So you have one artist performing on one side and you're like, oh, but I want to see this person. They go on in like 15, 20 minutes. So you're literally running across to try to catch your artist. You know what I mean? So I can only imagine.
And you push the people out of the way. You dash
people into the sea, bro.
Do you think like, so who would you guys blame in this situation? Because as I mentioned, Travis Scott, Drake, Apple Music, Live Nation, they were hit with that $2 billion lawsuit from 200 alleged victims of this festival.
Jeez.
I think the onus has to go on Travis and his team, honestly, because like they were consulted by authorities prior, I think a few times. Right. I think that onus has to be put on him. And the onus, he's getting a lot of flack for even continuing to sing when he saw a kid literally passed out on the ground too. I don't know if you guys saw that clip.
I'm iffy on it.
Right.
Because I'm not sure. Like I've never obviously been in that situation. Exactly. So I don't know if he saw. I've heard like multiple stories where it's like some people are saying that like he actually stopped in moments where people, you know, things were getting crazy, but I don't know. And I also can't imagine being able to look out into that crowd and being able to pinpoint and be like, oh shit, that's a dude on the floor. I don't know.
Not sure.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I think it's, at first I was not wanting to blame Travis and his team, but as more details come out, I think the onus really needs to be on them. I see Drake tossed in there.
I don't know. Drake
that
is
one's
like
kind of like a money bet.
Yeah. He just was performing. He was just there. He just showed up.
Yeah. So, but I really think this has to go on the promoters. It has to go on the organizers of the event. Even law enforcement's got to play a part in this too, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be bad, but we'll see. I think that, like I said, this is gonna have long-lasting ripple effects across the music industry for sure.
Yeah. You think Travis Scott goes behind, Kylie? I saw a meme, goes behind Kylie and be like, "Hey, you want to help me?" And she's like, "Okay, grab my purse."
I literally saw somebody said that under this post. Is that why you said that? You saw that on Instagram or some shit?
I saw it on Instagram. Yeah, that was hilarious.
I will say, I think Astroworld might have united and brought an end to the feud of Drake and Kanye.
You think that's what did it? Or was it Jay Prince? Because Jay Prince,
I think it's both.
Solves all problems.
I think it's both. I think they
that
realized
guy's an intimidator.
I'm telling you, like, this guy
standing next to Kanye like he's in trouble. Right? He's on punishment.
Yo, how does he have so much power? That's what I need to know. Like how he has so much weight in the industry. Because it's not the first time, bro.
Don't ask.
Yeah.
You asked that Jay Prince might touch you and be like, "Yo, shut the fuck up," but he won't even touch you. If somebody else.
Someone else is coming. Yeah. Damn, they come to the hood. But I really think like they probably saw, and realized, yo, life is short. What are we doing? Why are we beefing over this nonsense?
I watched both the Drink Champ interviews with Kanye.
Yeah.
Crazy. Listen, I want everybody who has an opinion, like a strong opinion, and anybody who doesn't know shit about Kanye to watch that interview because his brain works different.
Yeah.
He's actually all there, I think. I don't think he's that crazy person that people cut him out to be. I think he straight up is saying the moment you say, similar to what Dave Chappelle said on stage before, the moment you call somebody crazy is dismissive because it just like throws out anything they got to say. It just disqualifies it. So he was just very lucid about that. He's like, you don't think that like Kim or I, we don't have plants around us, whether it be a publicist, whether it be a nanny that are trying to like get in our ears about like, oh, Kanye crazy. Oh, you should do this. Oh, this and that. Like he's just very like he was talking on a high level about a lot of things.
Damn.
And I'm just going to say it was a really good eye-opening interview for a man like me who was not a big Kanye fan ever.
I was about to say,
Never.
Now I'm just a fan of like his mind.
Oh, wow.
Like this guy was saying some stuff. Don't look at just the clips because the clips are just, they're cool. Some of them are great. Some of them are like, he was saying shit about Big Sean and we talked about it the last time.
Yeah.
Fuck that. That's not even because like what I took from that interview was like one of Kanye's flaws as a human being is that he's got a gigantic ego. His ego is insane. Aside from that, there's a ton of genius and a lot of bars and facts and thoughts worth thinking about and listening to. So I just wanted to make sure I communicated that to the people and you guys because those interviews were great. And I'm happy. And to your point about the Drake and the Kanye thing, he throughout the interviews, he said, I don't have a problem with Drake. I like Drake. I love his music. But I have a problem with him basically alluding to saying he fucked Kim or like, and he didn't. And like, he called their beef, this is just professional rap. It's like wrestling.
Yeah, I remember hearing.
You know what I mean? So I was like, oh shit, we all thought that he thought he did something profound by sharing Drake's address. He said, I only did it because it was Googleable. I wouldn't have done that shit otherwise. Like everybody got it. At that point, yesterday I started Googling people's addresses.
Wait, what?
I know where.
Who'd you get?
So I know where Drake lives. I know his LA house. I know where Chris Brown lives. Ask me anybody. I can find it. It's very easy. You can find it.
The question is, are you pulling up? Because you in LA right now. Are you pulling up?
Well, I heard Chris Brown has great parties. So,
but you light skinned and he light skinned, so it's not going to work.
I will not have a dance off with that guy. I'll look like Drake and no guidance.
He's Chris Brown with the red and blue bandana. Ready to go.
But yeah, I and then so I was really happy to see Kanye pull up to the NBC Dave Chappelle.
Bro, that was crazy. That blew my mind, bro.
What a house. What a house. Jay Prince, Dave Chappelle, Drake, Kanye, etc.
Sounds like a bad joke. Like, it's like 3 guys walk into a bar. Like, that's
but the way Kanye talks, he's always like, yo, so I was sitting there eating dinner with Oprah next to Elon, and I said to Walt Disney, who's frozen in the corner, like
so the clip of Drake and Kanye when he's playing Night Talk in the background, it just reminded me of Pat. He's just like
Kanye was on his drunk Pat shit, and then light skin Shaq came through, just gave a little one of these and walked away.
That's literally me at every function.
Not with the hype. That was not with the hype stuff.
I was like, not with the hype link up.
Yeah. Oh man,
that actually killed me.
That's so good.
Man.
But what do you guys think about the Drake and Kanye reunion? Does it mean anything? Does it mean nothing? Do we care? Is it like whatever?
Go ahead, man.
I don't care. I don't care. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, if you really listen to, there was really a beef. Like people were saying Donda over CLB, CLB over Donda. All this foolishness. It was exciting.
Competitive rap, man.
And give Kanye his flowers for putting the same kind of thing, with the same thing he did with Get Rich or Die Trying, I believe. It was Graduation.
It was the Massacre.
Oh my goodness,
the
Massacre, and it was Graduation.
Yes,
it was a Graduation. Or 808s and Heartbreak. Sorry, it's 808s and Heartbreak. Sorry, yeah. That
was it?
Having that.
Oh no,
yeah, it was 808s.
I don't think it was.
It was Graduation.
It was Yes, you're right. Yeah, he's wearing all the yellow, the polos and stuff. You're right. But the fact that he did that like a decade ago, even longer than that, and now he's still doing it. Give him his flowers, man. He's able to kind of create these WWE matchups, cage matchups in hip hop. Shout out to him, man.
He's a super villain.
Doing it.
Yeah,
he literally is. That haircut is wild, though.
I love the story about the haircut, though. You guys have to watch the interview because to me, I look at that haircut and I'm like, do it. Like I have no qualms with Kanye's haircut now.
Damn, so we can't call him scab ass. What was it? Scab ass boy?
Scab ass head boy. Scab head ass boy.
Scab head ass. God, yeah. But what he said about Big Sean, that's foul, man. He put Big Sean.
Random. That was all ego. Who gives a fuck about that? Like literally skip past that. It doesn't matter.
What I want to know is like, if they go back to actually making songs together, I'll be, bro. That's what I want.
That's what.
And it's so temperamental that I can imagine that Big Sean will be like, yeah, whatever. You said that shit, but like, whatever.
No, not Big Sean.
No, Drake and
Kanye. I feel like it'll happen. I'm not like people are like, oh, here comes the joint project.
Oh,
like,
hell no!
Pump your fucking horses. That is not gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen. No, it's not gonna. They both have massive egos. They're both like they're both really competitive. I think
if they started working on that. If they started working on that, that's a project that just never gets finished.
Honestly,
right. That's so true.
Until Pusha T releases it.
Yeah. I wanted to go back to this moment that happened a few weeks ago.
Right.
The internet went crazy for a minute because everybody was convinced that Joe Budden came out as bisexual. So I was like, what? And if you listen to his pod, he like basically jokes about coming out in like 2022 or 2023. He's like, oh, it's gonna happen. Yeah, right. It's because he says like some shit that's like pause worthy. Yeah, I'll say pause worthy. I'm not gonna say gay because I don't think he's actually gay. Maybe, but I don't. Nothing has shown me that like definitively this guy is on the rainbow spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, a clip came out. The clip ended where one of his co-hosts said something that, like, to me, because I didn't listen to that episode at that time, it sounded like, oh shit, that's not a finished thought. It sounded like Joe was speaking from the perspective of somebody else, but everybody's running with this narrative. And then Joe, being the troll and the person that doesn't give a fuck about what anybody thinks, said, oh, y'all saw that shit? Run it up. Tell everybody. He didn't care. He's like, yeah,
he was trolling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Then I listened to his episode, and this guy's playing all those coming out songs and like all the songs that's popping in the gay community. He's rolling with it, saying, I'm expanding our audience. He's doing all the most. But then, I listened to the episode, literally did not come out. Here's the actual full clip.
I'm bisexual.
Fuck okay. It's okay now. You got okayed? He got okayed?
How do I spread this news? How do I spread the word?
I think you got to call the CEO.
Yo, listen.
You gotta make sure it's okay.
I like guys and girls. Spread the word. I'm down.
Remember, this was the first time he returned to the.
So that was the end of the clip, and that's where everybody was convinced that he was gay,
right?
Bisexual. Sorry,
right.
So here's the rest of that clip. Oh, sorry, no, they didn't even have the rest of the clip. I just listened to it. But yeah, his tweet response was, I see the word got out. Continue to spread the word, please. He was basically speaking about the babies. he was speaking about the babies rolling loud situation and about like the CEO of, I can't remember what organization of the LGBTQ. Yeah. I don't know. It was just basically they said you're allowed to operate the baby,
right?
And they were speaking about that.
You're allowed to operate. It was literally
they lifted the ban, and as soon as they lifted the ban, he dropped the project, put out a music video, and started performing immediately.
Yep.
So Joe was just talking about that.
Yeah.
It was a clip where even the clip ends where it sounds like they were talking about something. I know Joe said, and when he speaks, it sounds like he's punctuating. He's saying that shit with emphasis, where he's like, I don't know how to say this. I'm bisexual now. Now somebody's going to take that clip and say that Shaq's coming out.
Now Shaq, hey, it's a safe space.
So that, I don't know. I heard that and saw that clip before I even listened to the podcast and was like, oh, he's not actually bi. It just kind of angered me with the way that not angered me, but like it irks me because it does from time to time the fact that we just take a clip out of context and all of a sudden that's just the word.
See, but I thought people knew he was trolling. Like I didn't see it get much traction. I thought people realized he was
on my timeline. People were going off. They're like, I knew he was gay. I can't remember which artist. There's a couple people like Joe was explaining in the next episode that came out after. He's like, yo, my line was busy. Wow. People were saying I knew it. People were saying you could have told me or gave me a warning. People took that shit serious.
Wow, that is.
He's like,
wild.
people were consoling me. He's like, why you tell me now? I was be happy about it.
He's like, that's so wild. He said I had an ex from the Angel Dust days. I said, I always knew he was a little. So congratulations to him. And he's like, anything from those days don't count.
It's a different time, but it's so wild, man. It's so wild how people just run with a little clip. Narrative. There's no context, a little narrative, and that's it. But it's also kind of crazy to me to go back to his point, like Joe's point about the baby. Like literally, the ban's lifted. He's out there. He's free now.
Yeah.
Like, how do they have that much power? How does any organization
I don't know
that much
how they get the power like that? That is wild to me.
Yeah, but the baby's fumbling it again anyway. So
I'm not going to talk about it. I actually refuse to talk about. Is it Danny Lay?
Yeah, Danny Lay.
Fuck them both. Like, I'm sorry that she got in with a man that she didn't know. Yeah. Because apparently he just seems like a piece of shit type of dude to date. Period.
Yep.
Yep. Sorry you joined the mess. What do you got to say?
No, just a PSA.
Okay, PSA. Go for it. All right.
So I got a PSA to all the single people out there and people acting like they're single. Be careful where you plant your seed, gentlemen. Ladies, be careful who you let bust a nut in you because
it's an evil world we live in.
And that's it. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Yo, I see nightmares. You have to be really careful, man. Please, everyone. I vouch for you. Please do not ruin a lot in real life.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's all that situation is, and everybody wants an opinion. They all want to talk about it. I just don't think it's worth the conversation. It's not worth our breath.
Nah.
It's not. There's a lot more. There's a lot more going on.
Yeah.
If you're talking about the Danny Lay that Danny Lay live with the baby, and you haven't seen the Kanye interview, that's just one, and that's not even like the most important thing in the world. I'm just saying
exactly.
There are better headlines and better things to waste your time on.
Yeah.
So don't waste your time on that whole Danny Lay the baby nonsense. Fuck that.
Whenever I see the baby news, I just scroll past it.
I'm just
scroll past it.
Yeah, just
like Monopoly. I'm going past it.
Yeah, there's no point.
There was, to me, some upsetting news. It wasn't really upsetting. It was just kind of, I wanted to fight these interviewers.
Oh,
you guys saw that interview with White Yardie and them UK people?
No.
I didn't see a clip. I didn't get through the entire thing. He said, "What? No, white can be."
Oh
Yardie.
my God. Okay. Yeah, so basically, they're trying to like drill this guy like they're talking to Chet Hanks and being like, "So, do you consider yourself part of Black culture? And when did you decide to be Jamaican?"
Sorry,
all this shit. So let me play the clip because it does anger me a little bit. I won't play the whole thing because I could play this whole 4-minute interview.
You are part of Black culture.
I believe I'm a part of the Jamaican culture.
Okay. What's the difference to you?
The difference to me is that what is the Black culture, you cannot just define Black culture as Black culture because it varies. I relate with the Jamaican culture because it's a culture that I grew up in. You know, we have Black British culture, so that's a different thing. But to me, Black British culture is a merge of like Jamaican, Caribbean, and Africa and England together. That makes the Black British culture. That's what I would say. But I cannot define in one sentence to say this is Black culture because it's.
Can I ask a quick question?
Of course.
When did you decide that you were Jamaican? Was it when you came back over here? Was it when someone asked you? Like, was there an experience where you just felt I identify as a Jamaican man?
Let me explain to you there. And I don't know if I've ever said this on an interview anywhere yet, but my mother, before me, she had a miscarriage. So when she was pregnant with me, she could have gave birth to me in Jamaica.
Right.
But where we live, the hospitals weren't great. So obviously she has that opportunity to leave. Once she had me and did the checks, 3 months on a plane back to Jamaica. So from there until what I know has been that. So it's not like I wake up one day and say, oh, 5-year-old, I'm want to be Jamaican. Oh, 10-year-old, I think I'm Jamaican. 12-year-old, cool. I'm definitely Jamaican. Yeah. It's just what's inside. You understand what I mean, brother?
To call yourself a Jamaican, that's interesting because you said that you weren't born there. But I guess if the community to which you kind of were raised in, which is Jamaica, obviously, if they've embraced you, the large swaths of them and stuff, and if you've got citizenship, I don't know if you have, but yeah, from where I come...
Harry, do you have a Jamaican passport?
Yes, I do.
So I find it interesting as well because how do you decide? White Yardie, I'm from Jamaica. My grandparents are from Jamaica. Yeah. My dad's born there. My mum was born here. You probably would know more about Jamaica than me, just because I'm Black now. If I said I'm Jamaican, no one's going to question me. You're just Jamaican. Exactly. But you probably know how to cook yard food. You know how to do all of that better than me. So then, who are we to tell him? Actually, no, you're not Jamaican, just because he's white.
I went to school in Jamaica, so when people are when people here are talking about, oh, you cannot represent the culture. You're not from Jamaica. You're not this, like that. You know nothing about the Black culture. And I'm like, you were born here, you were raised here, you went to school here. That means if you went to school for like, how long do you go to school when you're here? Like what?
Too long.
Like, how many years? Let's say like 12 years.
Well, yeah.
So 14 years. Realistically, they only taught you, 14 months of Black history. My whole schooling was Black history. So I learned everything about the culture. So
bars.
Facts there.
You know what? Like, Shata sound for White Yardie and the air horn. Applause for not like reaching over and like fighting everybody.
Yo, trust.
I would have had to strangle a man the way that they're talking to this guy like he's Chet Hanks.
Trust. Oh my gosh, the disrespect.
That was that's ridiculous. Like that's really bad journalism, right? Right? That's bad journalism.
Yeah, don't teach the kids that. Don't
send that to your kids as an example. Come on now.
No, that's awful. That's really bad.
That's so wild. I love the way he answered those questions, though, man. Like that's legit the truth. Like the way you can't define Black culture. You know what I mean? Like it's not a monolith. Like, you know what I mean? We're made up of so many different backgrounds and so many different cultural experiences. Like, yeah, they tried to trap him with that. And I just love the way he came back and responded with that. Say like he knows Jamaican culture. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I love that.
I'm sorry. Let me just really quickly. I don't know how these people pass journalism school altogether. Because I thought listening to that clip, I was like, okay, I'm gonna hate this Yardie. But listening to him, like, I respect him way more than the question.
Oh, White Yardie's a Jamaican man. Period.
That's like 100%.
First off, I don't need to qualify. I can just hear I can hear him.
You hear him, exactly.
He's not faking this. This is who he is.
That's in this sense, that's wild, man. That's wild. Because when you have a lot of Asians back there, you have a lot of brown people in Jamaica. You have everything in Jamaican. Those are Jamaicans, right? Like
No,
because diverse country, man. People don't.
They literally
that.
say of many people, one people.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's what they say.
Yes,
exactly.
That's on the coat of arms.
Yep. The disrespect. That's ignorance, yo.
Wow.
That's mad ignorance out of those interviewers.
Absolutely.
Let's take over their show. Man. That's crazy, man. Reverse racism.
I want to be safe when I say certain things, but yeah, that's kind of when you look at it. That's awful,
man.
Man. I have a question from. I have a question. And it's not mine, but it's a valuable one because I remember when I was younger. When we were all younger, we all had to encounter this, whether we were the stinky ones or somebody else around us was.
Jeez,
this is like the puberty times. But I'm sure I want this question to apply to us as adults. So here's the question.
I'm just here thinking to myself, and I'm like, yo, how do you tell one of your friends that they stink? How do you go about doing that? How do you tell your friend that they have a bad odor?
Oh man, do you guys remember those days?
Yeah.
Yo, kids are mean, man. Kids are mean, yo.
I'll tell you my experience with kids that had bad odor. I was playing. This was back when I was playing Jamba, and one of the kids, I think he was on the younger team. He was on Malik's team. He going through puberty. He must have been like 12 or 13 years old. Reeked. You're playing basketball, and he's like wearing the same shit, like not washing the clothes either. So all of it, there was a bad combo. The team manager just showed up with 15 sticks of speed stick. I just gave one to everybody.
Okay.
How do you tell your homie?
Yeah.
We're all 30 plus.
Yeah.
Are you 30 yet, Brandon? Yeah, you 30.
I'm 30.
Yeah, you're 30 now.
That's enough. Yeah.
We're all 30 plus. How do you tell your 30-year-old homie, like, yo, bro, what's good? Did you forget something today?
Oh man.
Yeah. This is a really tricky subject. This is something I used to tell people back in like when I was younger. I'm like, yo, like go take a shower. That's what I used to say when I was younger. But like there was definitely one guy who went to high school. I don't know how you say it to a 30-year-old though. That's a different story.
That's the thing. Like by now you should know.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, where'd you come from? You come from the gym?
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Because I think I would probably want them to be forthcoming with the information, the details, and be like, yeah, bro, I forgot my speed stick. I need to take a shower.
Yeah.
I want them to say
it. I guess that's the one way you say it.
Maybe it's one of those things you just got to pull them to the side and be like, yo, man, let me just holler at you real quick. Like, yeah. Go to
depends how bad in the situation.
Just run to the shoppers. Run to the shoppers. Get some wet wipes. Get some baby wipes.
Yeah. Oh shit.
They wipes that. That's not.
Okay, no. But okay, how about this? You at the bar. You're at. What's a poppin' bar in Toronto nowadays? Where are they doing it at? Where they at now?
Yo, that's a great question. When people are doing Dog and Bear. Dog and Bear. Nah, that's not a poppin'.
Why would you say that place? That's not a poppin' place.
That's the first
one. Okay, how about this? EFS? I don't know. People still definitely go to EFS.
Yeah, for sure.
You're at EFS. Lavelle. That's a good one.
Wow, there you go.
Lavelle's a good one.
Yeah.
Fuck Lavelle, but we'll talk about Lavelle. So you're at Lavelle. You're on that rooftop pool bar, whatever the fuck. Beautiful people. We're all dressed nice, looking nice. But your homie comes through. He daps you. You're like, good to see you, homie. But he smells like total BO. There is a Shoppers nearby, if you're wondering.
There is
a Shoppers nearby. There's actually a dollar store, so I think even better.
So you're safe, yeah.
You can save money too.
I think passing to pull out that towel from the back pocket, be like, yo, go wipe yourself off, fam.
Nah, what is it? You need soap and water.
Go put some soap on this towel. I'm gonna sacrifice my towel.
My one good towel.
My one good towel.
Towel.
I feel like Patrick, you come out with like a spare towel.
Sometimes. If it's really hot, there's two. There's one in each pocket. But
you're gonna ask the washer man to give you extra.
I was just about to say.
Put it on the towel and wipe your armpits.
I was just about to say that, bro. You got to talk to the man in the bathroom, bro. You got to have that man just nice you with like.
That's when you finally tip him. You finally tip the man. You're like, this is, I've been wondering what your purpose was my entire life, but you finally came through. I didn't need those mints. I didn't need damn cologne, but guess what? Today I need the Axe body spray.
Today I need the cologne, the mints,
and that bar soap that you just so happen to have for some odd reason.
Yo, you thought you were drinking tonight? Nah, your money's being spent. Money's being spent tipping that man.
That's
so dumb.
Oh man,
but from a bar run, yo, fam, go home.
Yo, honestly, you got to tell them, bro. I think the worst is like, we're at the age now where it's like, yo, if you got something in your nose, you got something in your teeth, if your breath stinks, like just let people know. You got to let people know.
The homies are good like that now. I see people do this all the time. Sometimes it means they want to do something with the nose that's like, not Pepsi, but it also means get that shit out. Homie.
Yeah. And one thing that's huge too. I was in a Foot Locker not too long ago, and one of the Foot Locker employees, black dude,
Shoppers World.
He's like, no, this is that Ramley City Center. He just looked at me. He's like, yo, your hair. I'm like, he's like, you come here. And he just like took this up. I'm like, my guy. Black people look out for each other.
I went to a party, and it was a day party out here, and this dude. Me and this girl that we were just talking, having a chat or whatever, and we both saw this dude walk in, and he had like his tag hanging off his shirt. And I looked at her. I was like, "How do we do this? I feel like you should do it because I don't want to be a strange dude that it might be seen as hating. I don't know." So I told her, and she's like, "No, I got this." So she went like whispered in his ear, gave him a hug or whatever, whispered in his ear, and then he turned over. He's like, "Thank you guys so much." I think he was a doctor. He's like, "I just bought this shirt. Appreciate you guys."
Yeah, look out for each other, man.
Nah, definitely. As someone who sweats a lot, I definitely know like you gotta be prepared, man. Walk with your supplies that you need, man. Walk with your baby wipes. Walk with your antiperspirant, your deodorant, whatever it is, man.
Bro, when I went to Mark Anthony's wedding, his uncle, not before the wedding, I've been to another wedding where he was there. His uncle brings like 4 or 5 spare shirts. He sweats through them.
Yeah.
He wears them all.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? So you got like 4 shirts just pressed in your car, just ready to go? He's like, yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Right on, bud. What?
Oh,
I've never heard that. That guy's money. What?
So Patrick, instead of rags,
you
might want to think about just extra shirts in the car. Extra shirts in the car.
But if you don't always drive, it's tough. That's a hard
word.
I'm gonna think about it.
maybe you just layer up.
Yeah.
Tearaways. Tearaway drip.
Tearaway shirts. Tearaway drip. I like it.
My thing is like, are you telling that guy, be like, yo, it's time for a change. Like, timeout number 1. Like, are you telling him straight up? Like, how are you be self-aware? I'm just thinking about that. That's
you just call it 30-second timeout or timeout.
30 seconds.
You guys are stupid. Ew. Why'd you do that under the armpit?
That's full leg timeout. Full leg timeout.
The full leg timeout.
Challenge to play. Challenge to play.
You gotta go change.
You don't do this in real basketball. It's just NBA, man.
Oh, that's true.
Is that true? So that's not real?
When have you seen? No, it's not real basketball. I saw a guy cross a dude yesterday. I can't even remember who it was, but he passed the ball from left to right and then dropped it on the court. Like he literally double dribbled.
Right.
I think it was on Cleveland or something. I can't remember. Happened yesterday.
Darius Garland.
Yes. He literally double dribbled, but he fucked that guy up. I had to rewatch it. I was like, there's no way. This guy had an advantage for sure. And yeah, he did. So
they didn't call it.
That's not real basketball. That's play basketball. That's
just NBA.
That's like a movie production.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, bro. It's all scripted.
Right,
but let me not say too much about my people kind of.
I was about to say, that's not.
Any last topics before we get out of here?
Cryptarena? No.
Crypto Arena?
Yeah, it's going to Cryptarena.
It's Crip Arena. It's Crip Arena.
Oh, Crip Arena.
Crip Arena. That's supposed to be on Christmas.
Christmas Day, man.
Yeah. I'll be over there for the last few days of the Staples Center before it becomes the Crypto.com Stadium or something like that.
Yeah.
Staples was such a staple, though. You know, I don't know why.
How's that Kobe built, man?
That.
I think people are like they're like so nostalgic about it or whatever. Like, how could they? But like Staples Center wasn't always like that's a
no, it was
sponsorship. Oh, I guess it was, but like they paid for the name. They didn't pay to build the stadium.
Yeah, right. But I don't know, man. These things are like, it means
You're
a lot
dear to our hearts.
No, it is.
Yeah.
I remember when Skydome changed to Rogers Center. Rogers like bought the team. They bought the rights to it. That meant something to me. Like I still
but
have a hard time.
I haven't heard somebody say Air Canada Center in a very long time.
Oh, no, yeah, you over 3 years it becomes.
I hear people say Scotiabank. People say SBA. I was like, "What's SBA?" Scotiabank Arena.
I think Scarborough Basketball Association.
So did I, but maybe that's just like since I started working there, they're like SBA. I'm like, oh, we work with SBA. That's crazy. I didn't typically fuck with them, but like, all right,
the Blues.
Blues? Fuck the Blues.
A man like Sticks calls it Big Bank Arena. So
Big Bank Arena. Yeah, I
like
it.
The ATM. Yeah. Some people call it the ATM. Jack calls it the ATM.
That's pretty cool. I like it.
That's pretty cool.
Well, I'm not tied like emotionally to any of these places. Like they're arenas.
I guess it's just I miss the days when like corporations didn't
own everything.
Yeah, their names literally like you go by anywhere. It's just like this and this sponsored by or brought to you by. Like, nah, what happened to creativity on like actually coming up with the name of somewhere? You know, like
yeah, man.
Well, gone are those days. Like they're just going to be even more and more sponsorships because if you haven't noticed, like since like when COVID happened, the Raptors weren't playing where they were, so they started like doing like hologram projections onto the court to like advertise. Guess what? The Raptors are back home, and guess what they're still doing?
I know.
They're still doing it when they're away. That's why you still see like local advertisers on Portland's court.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, following soccer's lead, man. Soccer's been doing this from what? I was gonna say the jump, but like if you watch any European soccer, man, all the jerseys are covered in different company logos.
Everything is sponsored, and like
sponsored. You sell.
I literally work in the department that works with, like it's only brands that I work with, so everything's for sale. Everything's for sale. It's crazy.
Like constantly for sale. Like it doesn't stop.
If I came up with a dope content series idea, they'd be like, that's amazing, awesome. Maybe the Raptors brand can own it, but we could sell it to a partner and make some bank off it.
Make some bank.
And now it'll be Modelo Beers presents the Raptors.
That's it.
Insider, blah, blah, blah. It's like, beers have nothing to do. I'm only saying because I'm seeing Modelo right here.
Modelo. We support that. Keep saying it.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy to me, though? It's like, people are for sale.
I remember when I was in grade like 7. Like,
sorry, he didn't need to talk.
No, but I remember like when I was in grade 7.
You're in grade 7?
But like I've seen people now driving around in cars with their sponsorship. So you basically get paid for
people
your
have
personal
like
vehicle
LED screens
to have the LED.
Over. Yeah.
I saw someone with the sandals. I thought they worked for sandals. I'm like, oh, like I made a joke. And I'm like, oh yeah, like it must be so great to work for sandals. He's like, I don't work for them. I just
get cash.
Yeah, I'm like, damn. So his whole car is wrapped in sandals, like the Sandals Resort Company. I'm like, that is crazy, bro.
Yeah,
everything's.
I'm about to tap my face. That's gonna be like, I don't know what brand do you think works with.
Wait. How much do you think you get for your face?
Face tat? It's got to be. That's passive income. That's not a one-time deal.
That's not like, one time. Okay.
I need like $50,000 a year minimum.
Ooh. And then every time it gets photographed.
That's bonuses. Like
that's
Modelo.
Modelo.
Yo, pretty dope. Yo, I face that right here. Look at it.
Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment.
Oh man, what's it going all the way?
Gross.
That's disgusting. Sell your soul.
Nah, no thanks. No. But this was fun, man.
Yes,
appreciate you again for joining us, Brandon, out of your busy day. I hope you can still have the night that you're seeking to have.
We hope, but if it doesn't happen, life goes on, right? Life goes on. Rest in peace to young Dolph once again.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
The world general speaking.
Yes. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you follow your boy Patrick Dennis Jr. on all socials.
Brampton's finest.
Yeah, it's an honor again. I have so much fun, of course, being with my guys. But yeah, you can follow up at Graham_JB on Twitter and G_JB on Instagram. I'm not creative.
Don't forget the underscores. Don't forget the underscores.
Shot like Shaq. You waste yo.
Shaq on everything, bro. Just hit me. You guys know where I'm at.
Yo, what? Yeah.
What you gotta say?
I want a cartoon picture just like yours on Instagram. A cartoon is thing.
Yo, that shit's been there for like a minute. 6 years or something. It's been in there forever. Yeah. That was like Malik V1.
Not with the hype. Not with the hype.
Ooh. That's fire, man. Who made that? That's